Greetings. Wonderful to be here and be part of the Mothership Earth Summit. Warm welcome to all the participants. I'm Nithya Shanti. I live in Pune, India, and happy to be a part of this and add a little bit of my energy and flavor to this powerful gathering. I love the theme of designing a new planetary narrative. This is really important because so much of how we relate to our life is based on the stories we tell. I discovered in my journey that the quality of my life is the quality of my presence and the quality of the stories I tell. So even as I'm here with you now, my intention is to be as present as possible and to share with you some stories that I found helpful and changed my way of looking at life in a way that was more expansive, more creating more ease and more flow. So very briefly about myself, I went to a school which didn't have a normal curriculum. We actually chose what we wanted to study, and that was an important aspect of my journey. I kept that going even as I got interested in spirituality and began meditating at quite a young age, and had a chance to be a meditation teacher for youngsters when I was still a teenager. And that interest deepened and widened, and I ordained as a Buddhist monk living in the forest tradition of Thailand in Sri Lanka. I lived as a forest meditation monk for about 6 years. And at some point, I realized that life is wanting me to be even more universal than that, wider than that. And so in 2008, I left my monastic life and in sharing some of the things I've learned and continue to learn. My values are learning and practicing things that truly inspire me, and then sharing some of that I find meaningful and valuable with others. So that's what I intend to do today as well. This will be a practice session. So even though I'll be talking and sort of telling a story, I invite you to approach it more like a sort of soft guided meditation. So for the rest of the time, your eyes can be either fully open or half open or even closed, as you like. And since I'm told my session is going to be towards the end of the day, it's a nice time to integrate and shift from the intellect, the thinking mind, more into a state of being. And that's what the session will be about. So allow yourself to sit comfortably and take a few deep breaths. Gather in your energies. Let your attention be here. And let things hang loose. Let thoughts come and go. Feelings come and go. Sensations come and go. Sensory input come and go. Shift from focusing on ideas, concepts. Get in touch with whatever for you is most real right now. So instead of symbolic awareness, what's it like to have non-symbolic awareness, not based on words so much? We can connect with the intelligence of nature by moving from symbolic awareness to non-symbolic awareness. More direct contact. The practice I'll share with you today is based on a incident from the life of the Buddha. He was walking for alms round. He would walk to the villages in the morning to collect some food, alms. And that day, his son, Rahula, who was also a monk, was walking behind him. And as they walked, Rahula had a thought. Buddha is so good looking. Buddha is so handsome. Buddha is so graceful, so elegant. And likewise, I too, being his son, am so good looking and so handsome and so graceful. It was a form of conceit. It was a form of subtle superiority, comparison, judgment. And the story goes that the Buddha picks up on this thought of Rahula and he stops right there. And he turns to Rahula and says, Rahula, contemplate earth. Rahula, contemplate water. Rahula, contemplate fire. Rahula, contemplate air. Rahula, contemplate space. And Rahula is kind of a while. Suddenly, the Buddha has stopped and he's given him a very stern admonishment. And he realizes perhaps the Buddha read my mind. So if he feels embarrassed to continue on alms round, so he just sits down under a tree. He says, today I'm just going to fast. I'm going to practice what the Buddha told me. And after a while, his tutor, Sariputta, is walking by and he doesn't realize the Buddha has given him very precise instruction. So he says, oh, he's sitting there, let me give him some instruction. He says, Rahula, be mindful of your breath. Those who are mindful of breath gain great benefit. So Rahula is confused. Should I follow what the Buddha said? Should I follow what my teacher said? In the evening, he approaches the Buddha and he asks the Buddha, how should one practice mindfulness of breath? And the Buddha doesn't answer his question and instead continues saying to him what he said to him in the morning. Rahula, contemplate earth. Be like earth, Rahula. On earth, people place beautiful things, unpleasant, dirty things. Earth does not react. Likewise, external earth element is not different from internal earth element. Your body too contains earth element. Earth does not react to pleasant and unpleasant. Train yourself so you also don't react so easily to pleasant and unpleasant. Be like earth, Rahula. So in this moment, recognize anything in your experience that is hard or that is soft, that is rough or that is smooth, that is heavy or that is light. These are all facets of earth element. And what's it like to not have a strong preference for light over heavy, smooth over rough, soft over hard? What's it like for the earth element in your being to just be earth element? Let earth just be earth. Stay with us for a few moments. You're actually practicing equanimity, balance of mind, balance of heart, balance of being. Be like earth, Rahula. Be like earth. The Buddha continues, be like water, Rahula. People put beautiful flowers in water. They even put all kinds of dirty things in water. But water doesn't react. Water doesn't get excited with flowers being put in it or some muck being thrown in it. It doesn't get sad. And likewise, external water element is not different from internal water element. So Rahula, you too be like water. Don't get elated with the pleasant. Get dejected by the unpleasant. So anything in your body, in your being, that is flowing and that is cohesive are aspects of water element. Water flows and water binds. Like when you take something dry and you sprinkle water in it, like you take some food material and you put water in it, like dough, you can bind it together. Put water over flour, it can become dough. So water binds and water flows. Anything in your experience that is cohesive and that is flowing is the domain of water element. And internal water, whether it's saliva, whether it's blood, whether it's any other liquidy substance in your being, is not separate from external water. Water is just water. Internal moisture is just borrowed water element. Has to circulate. In this way, you truly are, not just theoretically, but very actually a part of Mother Earth, Mothership Earth. Be like water, Rahula. Don't react so much. Experience yourself as a part of Earth. Water flows through you. You're like a cell of Mother Earth. You too can be like water element. Equanimity, balance of mind, balance of heart, balance of being. Be like fire, Rahula. People burn beautiful things like sandalwood. They also burn cow dung and all kinds of other trash. Fire doesn't mind, fire doesn't complain. Likewise, internal fire element is not distinct from external fire element. Rahula, be like fire. Don't react. Don't react to pleasant and unpleasant experiences. Everything in your experience that is in the range of temperature, very cold to very hot, including metabolism, all the chemical reactions happening everywhere. It's all the domain of fire element. Metabolism, digestive fire. Temperature, warm, cool, the domain of fire element. The vitality that comes from fire. Internal fire element is not distinct from external fire element. It's borrowed. So what is it like to be like fire? Burn bright, burn bright. I discovered that fully feeling any feeling is powerfully healing. Burn bright, burn bright. Fully feeling any feeling is powerfully healing. Burn bright, burn bright. Be like fire, Rahula. Be like fire. Equanimity, equanimity. Balance of mind, balance of heart, balance of being. As you're going through this, you're gradually shifting from the idea of being a personality, being a person, to being a process, being a presence. This is a very powerful shift. And in my opinion, the most powerful shift for designing a new planetary narrative. Shifting from imagining yourself to be a person to recognizing yourself as a process, as presence, the gateway to essence. Be like earth, Rahula. Be like water, Rahula. Be like fire, Rahula. Be like air, Rahula. Air blows over pleasant things, unpleasant things. Blows over a field of flowers. Also flows over a garbage pile. Air doesn't react. Air doesn't prefer one over the other. Air is just air. Be like air, Rahula. Don't react so much. Internal air element is not separate from external air element. Air element is just air element. Likewise, be like air. Be like air. Anything in your body that implies any kind of movement, hands moving, lips moving, breath moving, downward air, upward air, vital pranic airs. Anything to do with movement is the domain of air element. And anything that supports. When you blow a balloon, it becomes taut, tight, and a support there. Straighten your back. That is air element predominating. So the whole domain of movement and support is a domain of air element. And air element, internal air element, is not separate from external air element. Air element is just air element. Can you be more like air? Let the earth in your body just be earth. Let water just be water. Let fire do its fire thing. Let air do its air thing. Stop messing with it. Let it be exactly the way it is for once in your life. What you are seeking will not be found in this or that experience. It will be found in equilibrium of mind, equilibrium of heart, equilibrium of being. That's how you see that you're already in the heaven that you seek. It's right here. All perceptions, all experiences are inviting us back to this equilibrium. Don't get lost in the world of experiences. Come to equilibrium. Taste the ease, the flow, the freedom. It's already right here. Be like space, Rahula. Be like space. Space does not hold on to anything. Space is not contained or limited by anything. Space just is, doesn't react to pleasant or unpleasant things. It's not confined in any way. Likewise, external space element is not different from internal space element. The gaps in our nostril, the gap in our mouth, the gap in various orifices of the body, the gap between the atoms and molecules, the space in between. Scientists tell us we are mostly space, mostly wide open space. And external space is not separate from internal space. Space is just space. So be like space, Rahula. Don't cling. Don't hold on tight. Don't react. Be like space, Rahula. All the gaps, all the spaces that allow all the other elements to be. That space element. Like the earth is held in space. This experience is also held in space. And it's not personal. It's a process. Tremendous shift in our narrative when we go from personality view to process view. Personality view to present. Presence reveals essence. Essence pierces the veil and allows clarity, intuition. Spontaneous, uninhibited action that never misses the mark. The space here is not judging what I'm saying, doesn't agree with what I'm saying, doesn't disagree with what I'm saying. Space just is. Be like space, Rahula. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how average you think you are, no matter how unforgivable you think you are, earth element supports you. Water element courses through you. Fire element warms you. Air element moves you. Space element holds you. Unfailingly, unfailingly. Asking nothing about where you're from, what you do, what you've achieved. None of the normal human parameters apply. You are, and that's enough. I am as I am. I am that I am. It is as it is. So let the water element do its water element thing. Let the air element do its air element thing. Earth element does its earth element thing. Fire element does its fire element thing. And its space element do its space element thing. For once in your life, don't interfere at all. For one clean second, don't interfere at all. Hang loose. Open the fist of your mind. Open the fist of your heart. Open the fist of your soul. Open the fist of your being. Unclench. Drop everything. Drop even your judgment of how well you're dropping. Drop every concern. Drop even the concept of dropping. You are a process. You are present. And there is an essence. And it's beyond symbolic awareness. It's non-symbolic, not limited to words and ideas. It is, without relying on proof, validation, appreciation, acknowledgement. No measurements apply here. It was only at this point that the Buddha went on to answer Rahula's original question, mindfulness of breathing. He taught him step by step, how to practice mindfulness of breathing. So I invite you too to just enjoy this beautiful breath coming and going by itself. Don't try to change it. Don't try to manipulate it. Just enjoy it. Appreciate it. Relish it, cherish it. When you breathe as a person, your breath is always a little abnormal, constricted. As presence, you don't breathe. You are breathed. You are breathed. Breath breathes itself. You shift from moving at the speed of thought to moving at the speed of breath, which is the same as the speed of life. As you attune yourself to the rhythm of your own breath, you attune yourself to the rhythm and the pulse of Pachamama's breath, Mothership Earth. This way, your heart, your mind, your being is fully attuned, unified. The entire donut-like torus field is activated, energized. Local and non-local universes align. Perfect symmetry. Perfect coherence. Limitless synchronicity. Limitless. Boundless grace and blessing. Everything is complete as it is. Om Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamadachyate, Purnasta Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vishishyati. This is whole and complete. That is whole and complete. From what is whole and complete emerges what is whole and complete. When you take what is whole and complete from what is whole and complete, what is left is also whole and complete. Can you sense the wholeness and completeness of this present timeless experience, boundless experience? So whole and complete that even what seems to be missing, lacking, incomplete is also in its own way complete. So perfect that it's willing to be improved. So perfect that it's not afraid of being seen as imperfect. Allow yourself the first genuinely relaxed breath of your life. Gratitude in the heart. Gentle smile that spreads to every cell. And thrills the whole being in an unexpected way. And this is the transmission. This is the empowerment. This is the gift from you to you through the medium of so-called me. You allowed yourself to be a part of this. You allowed yourself to be open to this. You will continue to receive and experience whatever you allow yourself. The main thing to remember is that you deserve all that is true, good, and beautiful. You're a child of that which is beyond time and space. Here to remember that. So reclaim your inheritance, just like Rahula reclaimed his inheritance from his father, the Buddha. He went from conceit to practicing a recognition of the elements, earth, water, fire, air, space, including mindfulness of breath. Shifted from the idea of being a person to just being. And this being allows the person to mature into presence. And this presence is a dynamic balance between personality and essence. None of this needs to be remembered. So let it all go. Empty yourself. I wish for you ease, flow, and freedom. Ease with even that which is not easy. Discerning flow even in that which seems stuck, and a freedom that is so free, it's not afraid of being not free. I wish this for you wholeheartedly. Please receive it. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Tathastu. Tatha. Whenever you're ready, there's no rush. You will slowly emerge from this practice, keeping within you this equilibrium, which is always available. It is through this equilibrium, in a non-symbolic way, you attune with and you create an entirely new planetary narrative. True custodian, true child, true adventurer on Mothership Earth. Lots of love and blessing.